Hello, this is Krisha and you're watching YoungLeaps. This is vlog number 14. Oh my gosh, umabot tayo ng 14. Amazing. Anyways, so today I'm gonna share with you another reflection from my Bible time, which came from Matthew chapter 9, verse 35 to 38. As usual, I'm gonna read to you the story and then I'm gonna share with you my reflection. So the story goes like this. Jesus went around to all the towns and villages, teaching in their synagogues, proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom, and curing every disease and illness. At the sight of the crowds, his heart was moved with pity for them because they were troubled and abandoned, like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is abundant, but the laborers are few. So ask the master of the harvest to send out laborers for his harvest." Okay, so here's my 3 reflections for that story. The first one is, when Jesus was traveling, it was said here that he did 3 things. He was teaching in the synagogues. The synagogues are the places of worship of the Jews. The second one is he was proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom. And the third one, he was curing every disease and illness. So I was thinking to myself, ang gala ni Jesus, pero gala din ako. But the difference of Jesus and me is that Jesus was intentional with his traveling. He was traveling to proclaim the kingdom of God. He was traveling to spread the good news. How about me? When I travel, aside from having my pictures taken on different tourist spots, what's the point of my travel? I think most of us, we travel with no intention of spreading the good news. But the fact is we can. For example, may katabi ka, if that person, you see that they're not okay, like you smile, that's spreading the good news. Or you share to them a good story about your faith. It's spreading the good news. And if you can pray for somebody, like just silently in your heart, pray for all the people who are stranded in the airport, you're already curing the sickness of their spirits. So I think we need to do that, especially now, where everyone will almost go home in the provinces. We will not only celebrate our time with our families, our friends, but most especially, let's birth Jesus in their lives. Let's help God birth the love of Jesus in their lives. The second realization that I got from this story is, when Jesus saw the crowd, his heart was moved with pity for them because they were troubled and abandoned, like sheep without a shepherd. So this one is a little bit personal. I think the reason why I am ministering to the youth, so I'm a campus life volunteer and also a youth minister. The reason why I think God placed me here is because every time I see young people, every time I see them like crying or being in a problematic situation, or like even worshiping with their hearts out to the Lord, every time I see that, I cry for them. Like, it hurts my heart to see them like that. I think the reason why God placed that pain in my heart is because He knows it will move me to approach the youth with the humble heart that, you know what? If that's your situation now, it doesn't mean that'll be your situation forever. I always say that to young people because God has been like that to me when I was younger. He helped put the pieces of the broken me back together. There was a time where I was so confused. I was just papansin, alam mo yun. And God placed Himself and people around me to just love me for me. And that started the whole journey of healing. And it took years for that to happen. But it happened. And God changed the old me and turned it into somebody who can understand the feeling of another, especially a young person. So that's why if I see a young person like confused, in disarray, or just plainly sad on what's happening on his or her life, I remind them that God is still there. God is still there, loving them, journeying with them, being patient with them, being kind with them. And all they have to do is just open their hearts and minds and souls and spirit to His love, to His healing, to His embrace, and just, rest in the Lord and journey with the Lord. It will be a beautiful journey, I tell you. It's not gonna be easy, but it's gonna be so beautiful that God will create a new wine in you. So my third point, my third realization from this story is, it says here that the harvest is abundant, but the laborers are few. And I was asking God, what harvest? What are you talking about? And I don't know, early today in my Bible time, He clearly explained to me that the harvest that He meant on this is not the harvest that we think it is, like money, glamour, recognition, or whatever. What the world would bombard you as, like wealth or richness. But God has a different take on it. God's harvest, I think, for this story is humility, faith, peace, hope, love, understanding, and all the things that you really can't buy. That's the harvest. But the harvest takes time. And the harvest, it needs laborers to work on the land for the harvest to be placed upon them. And for those who are being called to work and labor for the Lord, I tell you, let's start working now. So the time will come that if God is generous enough to give the harvest to us, for sure He will give it in abundance. So I hope you got something from my realizations for this story, and just, open your heart to the Lord, because He will lead you. He will teach you His ways. Just be open to His plans and His will. That's it. So, see you tomorrow. Keep on shining God's light to the world and love as much as you can. Thank you for watching this video, and God bless you. Bye.